Follow the facts.
Follow the story.
Clare FM's Morning Focus with Alan Morrissey.
And you're very welcome back to the show. A local historian from Ennis, Anthony Dargan, is reaching out to anyone with connections to a particular family from Ennistymon. He's asking anyone with any information to get in touch. And Anthony joins us now to explain what he's hoping to discover and why. Anthony, a very good morning to you.
It's very good.
Thanks for being with us, Anthony. First of all, before we get into the family and what you're hoping to find out, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your work as a local historian?
I have more interest in local history in an area that I've lived in for over 40 years. It's a small little parish in North Tipperary called Carrick-Riverstown in Killeen. It's in the parish of Burr, but in North Tipperary. And I've lived there since 1980. I was teaching there up to 2005 when I retired. And then I took a local interest in the history of the area. And I published a book in November on the social history of Carrick-Riverstown and Killeen. And when I finished that, I said I'd get back to my family tree and try and solve a conundrum that I failed to solve over the years.
Okay.
So that's the passage history of myself.
Okay, and this is rather intriguing. A conundrum in your family tree that you've. It sounds like you've previously made stabs at trying to solve, but more concerted effort now. So tell us more about the family tree and this particular branch of the family tree that you're hoping to find out more on.
Yeah, it's we're Dargans. We lived in the Limerick Road, and up to the time that my mother had a stroke after the last Clare All-Ireland final. So our connection was there for many, many decades. The family section that I'm interested in is the Hines family. My grandfather was Patrick Hines and Thomas Hines, and he had a brother called Francis. They're both residents of Old Mill Street. And Francis Hines, I came across him in Ennistymon in 1929 when he married a local lady, Agnes Hines. She was the third youngest of 9 children. She was born through a teacher called John Healy and his wife Mary O'Gorman, both natives of Limerick City. And when they married in 1929, I couldn't find anything else about her from that date on. And then in 1944, Frances married again, and this time to a Catherine Knox, a resident of Lahinch. Now, Frances was a widower at this time. So therefore, something happened to Agnes between 1929 and 1944, and I cannot find out what happened to her. I was talking to a lovely lady in the parish office in Ennistymon last week, looking for information in the parties to see was she interred anywhere in the parish, but had no look at that area. And the last time then that Francis came to my notice in 1977 when he was a patient in the county hospital in Ennis. He was buried in Drumcliff, which the council have no record of where he is buried. And Catherine Knox and Francis Hines, I don't think they had any children because the obituary says that it was only nieces and nephews that would have attended the funeral in St. Joseph's Church in Ennis.
Okay, so that's another issue then, them not having children, Anthony, because if they did, you'd be able to maybe trace them and talk to them. Are there any, though, as you say, like cousins or anyone who maybe wouldn't have as intimate knowledge of Catherine or Agnes as potential children might have, but perhaps might be able to fill in a little bit of the blanks, or has it been difficult to even trace them?
Yeah, well, Agnes she was the third youngest of 9 children, so somebody in that area of that family must be still alive, and now where they're living, I don't know. But Francis and Catherine Knox, when they married when he died in 1977, they were living in a place called Doug, Dough. Now that's somewhere between Lahinch and Ennistymon.
Yeah, Doug and Lahinch. And the gap then where Agnes just it sounds like has disappeared off the face of the earth in that 15-year period. Are there any potential threads you have chased that have come up short, or that gave pointed in any direction?
No, I have no threads of any sort. I was hoping that somebody might remember who John Healy was. He was a school teacher, and I did email one of the schools in Ennistymon last week, and I'm hoping I'll get a reply in the near future. But so where all the Healys are buried, or where Agnes Hines is buried, or what happened to Catherine Knox, I don't know. Was she related to any of the Knoxes in Abbey Street in Ennis? They had a supermarket there many years ago when I was growing up in Ennis. So I'm looking for any little nugget of information that will lead me to maybe follow this part of the family tree. But we'll see.
And the end goal here to just, you want to know more about your family background, Anthony? Is it just about, I suppose, a feeling of completion, that the rest of the family tree is pretty much filled in, and these are just the only kind of grey or hazy spots on it?
Yeah, it is, because the other branches of the family tree were the McGraths of Glenduree and Fecal, and I traced another branch of the family, the Nolans, back to North Tipperary. So it's Dargan, Hines, Nolan, McGrath, and this piece that I was talking about, Francis Hines, that's the only part of the family tree that I'm missing. And as I have an interest in local history, and especially the local history of County Clare, and the wonderful work that has been done by the Clare Root Society, I must compliment them that they have documented all the street areas of the town, and I'm looking forward to reading the latest one, Larry Brennan's, the one on Clare Road, where we lived for many decades.
Yeah, and indeed Larry was in with us recently on the show to talk about that book. Have you any, in relation to John Healy, Agnes or Catherine, Anthony, have you any hunches or educated guesses or assumptions from your experience of tracing people and people's history that you think you might have an idea of what happened to them, or where they went, or what they did, or is it just completely in the dark?
Well, with Agnes, no. With Catherine, I have gone through the census 1901 and 1911, and there's no Knoxes at all to be found in Lahinch or Ennistymon, but I did trace a father and who had a daughter called Katie down to the area of Kilkenny and Waterford. Now, he was described, Catherine Knox's father was described as a farmer. Now, he could have been a farm labourer. If he owned land in the area, I thought it might be in one of the censuses, but it wasn't. So I'm really at a loss as to where these people went to, or where the relations are. So hopefully somebody in that area might have some piece of information that we might be able to follow up.
Well, if there's one thing I know from presenting Morning Focus, is that the Morning Focus listeners are brilliant at either helping or doing their utmost to help people who are in need or in need of assistance or searching for something. So anyone out there who, having heard what Anthony has had to lay out on the table about these people, if that rings any bells with you, do get in touch, and maybe either something concrete about what happened to them, what they did, or where they went, or someone who knew them, or somewhere along that thread. If someone thinks they might have information, Anthony, or might even be related to the people you mentioned, to Francis or to John, Agnes or Catherine, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm certainly on Facebook, or they can contact me at dargananthony@gmail.com, or by mobile at 087 206 9342. Any piece of information would be appreciated, obviously.
So it's not even about anything specific, just any documents, any photographs, or even any stories that will be particularly useful, pass them on.
It would, of course. Yeah.
Okay, well, if anyone does have any of that information, get in touch with Anthony, or get in touch with us here at Morning Focus, 0818 400 964 to call us and let us know what you know or what you've heard. Or you can text or WhatsApp us on 086 1800 964, or even send us an email with whatever information you think might be useful to Anthony, focus@clare.fm. And anything we get, Anthony, we will pass on to you. And in the meantime, if you do get anything from anyone else or from our listeners, if they contact you directly and you do manage to find the remaining pieces of the puzzle, do get back in touch with us and let us know, because we're all invested in this now, Anthony. So we want to know more about John Healy, Agnes, and Catherine as well. Thanks very much, Anthony, for being with us this morning.
Thank you very
much. Slán there, Anthony Dargan, the Ennis native and historian, who is he's putting in the hard yards to try and fill in those gaps in his family tree, but he's come up, he's hit a few brick walls. Can you remove those bricks from the wall for him? Let us know.